Good morning and welcome to Casey Stadium here in Melbourne. We are here for the under-14 girls minor semi-final to be played between Queensland and South Australia. My name is Brock Winkler. Next to me is Mr. Gary Lowe. Morning, Gary.
Good morning, Brock. How are you, sir?
Very well. And we have the first ball, which is played straight through off guard for four.
What a start.
By Olivia Winter. That's a terrific start. We just have the team list coming over to us. We watch the second ball of the match. Halved away into the offside for two. This will be an interesting matchup here. Third versus four playoff. These two sides met in the round games and Queensland were victorious 123 to 59 quite comfortably, as that is no ball too high over the waist. Direct hit and given. Rosenzweig there at leg sweeper, direct hit, and Olivia Winter found short of a ground.
Well, yeah, action aplenty. No balls, run outs, four scored. Geez, it's all going on. I'll take you through, perhaps, Brock Winkler, the teams at the end of the over, hey?
Sounds good to me. No ball called. Oh, straight to cover. Schiller there it was. Unfortunately, just missing the stumps. It would have been another one. It would have been a terrific start for South Australia. Ooh, just better than the outside edge. Good length. Probing outside the off stump there. Winter a bit tentative after that first shot that went to the back net. Oh, indecision, and there, off the sweeper, onto the back net for 5 runs. Winter with another 2 back nets in the first over. Gary, do you want to take us through the lineups now we have a break in play?
Yes, I'd love to. So the Queensland side looks like this, captained by Olivia Winter, Olivia Bennett, Talia Hess, Gabby Lockwood, Kyla Henson, Jasmine Lewis, Sophie Stennett, and Sophie Lilly rounds out that Queensland squad. The South Australians, captained by Isabella Nitschke, Alana Gregory, Emerson Filsel, Megan Schiller, Keely Stone, Caitlin Sekafine, Chloe Rosenweig, and Emma Crawford. And
our umpire for today is Ash Smith from Victoria.
Yeah, I've been told that Ash, chance, man alive, that was awfully close. It's Sophie Stennett there at the offside sweep position. Got hands to it nice and quickly. Yeah, umpire Ash Smith, a local. I understand he lives just around the corner, actually.
Wonderful. He'll be familiar with this centre then, which is good. It's another good stroke there, through off guard for 3 runs.
And if you can believe it, he's been umpiring here all week, and then he's also been umpiring in-house games during the weeknights as well.
Just getting a little bit of extra practice in.
That is keen.
It is. It's good commitment there. And Winter has popped that straight to leg side. Comfortably taken there. Second wicket falls.
Yeah, as we watch the replay brought to us by playcricket.com.au. Nice sharp chance there at bat pad, as we might call it in outdoor cricket.
Plenty of action in the first 9 balls, Gary. Two back nets, 2 wickets. Oh, another chance.
So, of course, this being the 3v4 playoff, so the loser, unfortunately, curtains on their tournament.
It is, yeah, so high pressure environment here today. Oh, Sekafine. Good length, good bounce. Bowling her offies here. Final ball of the second over, bowling to Talia Hess. So down and up. Through for a comfortable run, and that's over. Although they've lost 2 wickets, they are on 11. As I said previously, SA lost the round game, the only round game that they played between these two teams earlier this week. It was 132, my apologies, to 59. So SA will be certainly looking to avenge that loss. Third over about to start. Rosenzweig comes in. I think they're offies, Gary. I couldn't really tell. whatever it was that beat the bat.
Yeah, it is a bit tricky. We might focus a little bit closer here. Exactly what happens. I think you are right. I think they are.
Oh, that's a
leggy.
Definitely a leggy. Played into the side net for 2. Schiller missing the stumps.
That's good, changing things up nice and early. I had a very interesting discussion with Clive Rose, who plays in the BBL and Open Men's Victorian side, and he was saying about the importance. Oh, chance here! Wow, that's an outstanding catch.
Isabella Niski, the captain, leading from the front. And we'll get a good replay up there on the halfway line. It'll show us really well, hopefully. This time, here it is. Great work by Sportscast to capture that.
That is an extraordinarily difficult catch.
Just incredibly well read off the nets.
She's out down leg side. So, yeah, just speaking about the discussion I had with Clive Rose, he was saying the importance of really changing things up. Have one ball that goes the other way, and one's a bit quicker, one's at a different height, particularly indoor, because they can pin you down pretty quickly, and changing things up. A couple of leg sides creeping in here, but yes, it's been a very interesting little over.
It is, and having faced Clive on many an occasion, it is something he does very well. Got an innie and outie at the back of the hand, an off cutter. There's another sundry to finish the over, so a wicket, unfortunately, followed by 3 wides. It sort of stems the tide, gets Queensland back on the front foot there. Final over this pair, sorry, Gary, looking to build a little bit of momentum for the next pair coming in.
Yeah, they'll certainly be looking to do that. We'll kind of cast our eyes towards the end of this innings and what kind of total they'll be looking for. Queensland, you'd expect well over the hundreds, as you quite often see in junior divisions. If you caught the game prior to this, Brock Wickler made a very good point that the players are a little bit smaller and the courts here are a little bit bigger. So putting those two together, that equals additional runs.
And I think 100's about par here, Gary. We actually see Olivia Winter on strike here as the Queensland leader for runs, averaging 20 a game off the stick. She's well short of that at the moment, but got 5 balls to come back as she plays that well into the side net for 2. Talia Hess caught up a little bit there with the leg side trying to make it ground, but makes it home. Yeah, so yes, it's going to be very interesting here to see the runs leader held down. That's a great shot from Talia Hess. Well bowled by Gregory. Very famous name in this state in indoor cricket, but I'm sure no relation.
Yes, around these parts it certainly is. Russ Gregory, a Hall of Fame inductee. Of course, this year we had 2 more very fine individuals added to the Indoor Cricket Hall of Fame, Sydney Cross and Ross Collins.
Yeah, it was a terrific night on Saturday at the presentation dinner. Great to get the insight into both Cindy and Ross. Just played at cover, but misfielded for 1. Talia Hess getting through. This pair's gotten to 21. Having lost 2 wickets, that's a good recovery. See what Olivia Winter can do in the final ball here. Firmly struck. Mix up. Unfortunately, South Australia can't take advantage. Pair finishes on 21. I think South Australia will be very happy considering the 2 batters that have gone out there.
Yeah, and if we're ballparking, 100 total, then they're kind of well on their way towards that. As it'll be Sophie Stennett and Jasmine Lewis coming in for Queensland. Speaking of famous names, if Gregory's famous here in Victoria, how famous is Lewis up in Queensland? The King, Wally Lewis, mate. He's everything up there.
I don't know how raucous they'll be up there after Wednesday night. I was born in country New South Wales, so I'm pretty happy with the events of Wednesday.
I was in Brisbane during that time, and look, to be fair, just quickly talk about State of Origin, even though it's an indoor cricket thing. The Queensland, I think they're very proud of the way they went about things in Game 3. Game 2 was a little bit sad and depressing up there. But, congratulations to New South Wales, and it's going to be very interesting to see how New South Wales goes here at the Junior National Championships. Victoria have really got the wood over everyone else in the 14 and under girls division. If we look at the honour board, 2016 Victoria, 2017 Victoria Blue, and last year Victoria. So it's been Vic.
clean sweep as we see a mix-up. First ball, the shy at the stumps, unfortunately misses. Stennett hitting the ball and taking off, and Lewis well short. She plays that into the net for 2. Emerson Phil still bowling the 5th over here. A few changes in the field. No ball called, and she's played that on, but it will not be out. Only one way you can be dismissed on a no ball. Is that correct, Gary?
Yes, run out.
Correct.
Now I think about it though, they're possibly
Obstructing the field.
handling the ball.
Yep.
Would be another one, but traditionally.
Yeah, exactly. The common ones that you see. So that's a 7-run turnaround just right there, just purely from a front foot no ball. Also bowling well here. Oh, side edge onto the body. Last ball. Look for a dot here, having bowled a dot. Second last ball to produce a 3rd ball opportunity to the first ball of the next over. See if she can do that. Oh, another front foot no ball called by umpire Smith. It's a bit of a let off there.
Yeah, it is. And that's one of the things that you can really control as a player. You know, that's something that you can well and truly restrict is where you place your foot. So bowling those ones shows a little bit of ill discipline. And I know that Cameron Walter, who's one of our colleagues here in the broadcasting team, he hates it. He despises it when people bowl front foot no balls.
Being an outdoor or a former opening batsman in outdoor cricket, I just don't understand how people, the bowlers especially, overstep the mark. Because it is free runs and a free opportunity as a batsman, and you obviously love seeing it when the umpire calls there halfway down. Not that you can adjust a shot, but well played by Stennett into the net for 2 as we see Emma Crawford bowling the 6th over.
Yeah, Stennett averaging just a tick over 10 in this campaign. Thus far, hit straight into the front court field.
Megan Schiller there doing really well to keep that off and get it back to the stumps.
And Jasmine Lewis, how's she gone?
9.17 she's averaging, so we're looking about a 20 skin thereabouts, and that again will be probably a minimum at this point, knowing that the first skin has probably performed below what was expected.
Yeah.
Chance and given, direct hit. Leg side fielder.
Yeah, must have only just flicked the stump. And
see the replay here thanks to playcricket.com.au.
Let's have a look here. Oh, I know it doesn't just flick the stump, it smashes it. So, you know, that ball was a little bit shorter, so the batter just probably needed to get on top of the ball a bit more to hit it hard into the ground and high into the springs just to remove the fielders from the equation. Sorry.
Indeed.
That on that time, it was at eye level, kind of chest height, so the player's able to get hands to it and get a quick release on it. So that's one of the benefits of playing a traditional indoor cricket shot. It's what you may hear referred to as a down up, when you hit it down into the ground and then high up into the springs, and just completely removes the fielders from any possibility in affecting a run out.
Able to get through comfortably. We see Caitlin Sekafine, I believe this is her second over already, bowling her variety of off spin. Played down into the ground for 2. I'm not sure how many games these two teams have been able to play or have played on the show court this week, Gary, but the nets on court 1 are noticeably tighter than those on the back courts behind us on 2, 3, 4 and 5. And so it is a big adjustment, and you play those flatter shots, as you've said, not the down-ups, into the net. They come back to the fielders a lot quicker and give the fielders a little bit more time to either get the ball over the stumps to the keeper or get a direct hit, and we saw that just then. Well played over the cover fielder for 2.
Yeah, that's a really valid point that you make as well, that people would think of outdoor cricket and all the different variables there are with the pitch and the weather conditions. In indoor cricket, it is very similar. Tension on the nets, the way that the court is set up. So these are very square corners here at Casey. Sometimes you'll see them quite rounded. Sometimes there's conduit that runs down there. This is just a thin wire. So each indoor cricket court has got its own little nuances and idiosyncrasies that you need to be aware of. Particularly like, for example, if you're receiving and you know that those corners are quite 90 degree like that, gives you a bit of an idea about where you should be standing when the ball comes back. Whereas if the court's real rounded, and you sometimes often see in the older centres, it'll hit and it'll run exactly right. It'll run straight back along that 7 net. So when you're receiving, you need to come back towards the net a little bit more. So just little things that, if you've got that in mind as soon as you go out on court, I like to say you're ahead of the game. You're being more proactive with where you need to be instead of reactive. And if you're in that spot just a fraction of a second earlier, it can make the difference between a dismissal or not.
Well, most certainly. And having played on these courts last week, something that we noticed is that the umpire's net is very tight in a lot of them, so our point fielder is usually quite deep. We actually had to move them forward in front of the batting crease just to give them that little bit of extra time so they're able to react just as Emma Crawford has there at leg side and get their hands on the ball. You see Megan Schiller bowling the 8th over here. This pair on 19 with 5 balls remaining in their skin. Bowling well played chance at the striker's end. Unfortunately not being able to be taken. So I think I said 20 was probably par for this Skingarian. They got there at the moment. They could build some really important momentum if they get a couple more runs. It might be difficult if Megan Schiller continues to bowl that length, because that is really well bowled. There's your classic down up. Onto the side now for 2. Well played by Sophie Stennett. 2 balls remaining. Queensland team here, looking up and about, supporting their teammates. That's cut away into the 2 net. 2 more. Takes a total of 24s. Umpire Smith signals final ball this pair. Gregory having a chat to Schiller at the back net. Terrific fielding. The captain Isabella Nitschke, direct hit by Jasmine Lewis. Rapid down to the other end, makes it home for a skin of 25.
Yeah, and it was a good call by the official there, because the captain, Nitschke, did get her hands to the ball quite quickly, but the throw back was a little bit loopy and took a bit of time. So sometimes when you see that real outstanding bit of fielding as the umpire, you think, oh, I've got to give that out. But it was a bit loopy in return and diving valiantly to make the ground was a Queensland player. Coming out now at the moment, we've got Olivia Bennett and Sophie Lilly. And we're well on our way here to a plus 100 total. 21 in the first batting partnership, 25 in the second. It's 46. We've got a sneaking suspicion that that's where the score's going to need to be. We know that South Australia definitely have it in them to be scoring upwards of 100. Brock Winkler's been here all week, so he knows where the scores should and shouldn't be as Keely Stone comes in for South Australia.
So, again, 100's par, as I've said previously. Sophie Lilly, who's at the non-strikers end right now, is actually top scorer in the round game with 21 off her own stick. So she knows that she can do it against this attack. I think South Australia will be very happy, considering the round game when Queensland put 132 on them, to be in this position. If you had given them 46 after 8 pairs, I think they would have taken it with both hands.
Yeah, fair comment. 132, that's awfully difficult.
Straight through, Stone, top of middle. Bennett just trying to play across the line there, get it up onto the 2 net, and it's rattled the middle peg.
Yeah, we just see on that replay, that middle peg goes crashing back and the bails light up. A beautiful piece of bowling, Queensland. down to -3 for this batting partnership. I hope you're enjoying the action at home because it is all going on here. What a brilliant game so far.
We've got a big crowd in too here. The SA junior boys teams have come over to support their fellow teammates. That's off the knee. Look, that's a good call from Sophie Lilly. In the corner, the leg side fielders had to go down and pick that up and then throw it to the top to effect a run out, and she hasn't had enough time.
Yeah, it was a late call, a late-ish call, but it was always a run in it, and it absolutely was good calling in the end.
Correct. The full tosses a bit forcefully into the 2-net by Sophie Lilly. So again, regular wickets will definitely disrupt the Queensland momentum here. That's well played. It's a very similar ball to the one that knocked her over, and she's played it with a straight bat, giving it the respect. Taking a dot. Much better than a wicket, Gary.
Yep, no doubt about that. As we look at the crowd that Brock Winkler was talking about before, travel very well do the South Australians, big supporters. Just above them, there's a contingent of Queenslanders.
In the grandstand of this wonderful Casey Stadium facility, and what a facility it is. How many basketball courts are at the back? 12 or so?
Oh, there's so many. It is a world-class facility. Absolutely world-class. Managed by the YMCA on behalf of Casey City.
I've seen Vic League basketball in the 2 weeks that I've been here. I've seen Vic League netball last night, the Casey Demons and the Casey Cavaliers in their respective competitions. So not just the Indoor Cricket National Championships making full use of this facility.
Yeah, they've also got some really good adaptive sports that they play here as well, wheelchair basketball and wheelchair badminton.
They've got an excellent gymnastics facility just the other side of this wall.
I was wondering if that was you on the beams the other night, mate, doing your backflips and your Mickey flips. Was that you or
no? I wasn't on the beams. I was up on the ropes plunging into the foam pit.
Oh, beautiful fun.
Which is always good fun. Not that I made much of a dint because there's not a lot of me. That's well played through the 2. Into the 2-net, past the 3-line fielder by Olivia Bennett. Emerson Filsell bowling a second over here. Strays wide out the offside and called wide by umpire Smith. That's a great shot. Down and up. Over cover for 2. That takes this pair to 12. Halfway through their 4 overs. Sophie Lilly on 8 and Olivia Bennett 4.
Now, I hope that Rosenzweig comes back as the receiver again. She's not now. That's a real shame because I wanted to highlight the effort that she was doing there. The 87, you can see her on the right of your screen there at offside sweep. Really good intensity in the field. She's so aware of what's going on. Hopefully she does what she's been doing out there. And there she is there, arms up, ready to go, moving forward, very attentive to the ball. Unlucky not to get to that one there. I really like that about the young lady.
Well, that's something I always ask my junior teams to do is energy and noise in the field is something you can control, and it definitely has an effect on the batters. It's much easier to bat when there's no noise around you, I can tell you that, Gary.
Oh, for sure. And I chance it. Oh, I just need a bit of communication there from the fielders to let her know which end. It is very loud here at Casey Stadium. Keely Stone throwing that towards the non-striker's end. Batter getting home, sorry. But, yeah, that was one of the very first things that I was taught as a young indoor cricketer is... chance. Good catch. Moving away to the left. Plucked right out of the sky. Jasmine. Sorry, not Jasmine Lewis. My apologies. Isabella Nitschke. Very sharp catch as we watch it on the replay.
Captain leading by example there. The girls will get around to there.
Off her own bowling as well.
Exactly.
Always difficult to do when you're coming through with your follow-through.
That one's played flat by Sophie Lilly. Well fielded at the back by Gregory, keeping it to 1. sneaking that one inside the wide line. Great over here from Nitschke. Putting the pressure back on the Queenslanders. Firmly struck. Mix up. Oh, not given by umpire Smith. Saying that the back stumper didn't have the ball when she affected the run out.
Well, the replay will be very interesting if we can get our hands on one.
That's the over. It'll be third ball, the first ball of next over, but good to see whether the ball hit the stumps or whether it was in fact an arm first and the ball not in possession. Through Nitschke, back to Gregory. I would give that out, Gary.
Wow,
unfortunately.
That is absolutely brilliant images from Sportscast. You cannot get any better than that. Give the camera person a hot chocolate up there. It's cold up in the stands, up in the scaffold. That's perfect. You can't get any better. And that shows very, very clearly ball in hand. And well done to the South Australians, by the way, can I just say. Not given out.
Sorry, Gary, I think we've just missed a third ball wicket. Because we've had 2 dots previously, and that was a dot just then. So this might be fourth ball.
Wow.
Controversy everywhere.
Note that down. We don't have the score sheet in front of us, but
that'll be interesting to see as well as Sophie Lilly carves that one away past off sweeper for 3. 2 massive decisions in the course of this game. Final over this pair. They're on 14. So again, I think they've got to really look to get 3 twos off the final 3 balls here. As Olivia Bennett does just that, but catches Sophie Lilly short of her crease. Direct hit from cover. South Australia very much on the front foot here.
Yeah, sharp fielding as we watch the replay thanks to playcricket.com.au and getting up nice and high. Quick into the hands and quick out of the hands. Boom, boom. Sharp touch.
Direct hits, vital in indoor cricket, saving you precious milliseconds. And although it wasn't really needed on that account, another chance goes down. Onto the offside net for 2, and unfortunately just not quite grabbed by Schiller after affecting such a good run out the previous ball. Final ball of this pair. This is a massive, massive period in the game here. Forcefully hit. Chance at the non-strikers and not taken. 2 given by umpire Smith, but looking back on this over at the end of the game, Gary, one way or the other, I think.
Yeah, it's this has been a crazy old game. It's been so enjoyable. That's some big decisions and some big stroke play as well by the Queenslanders and some outstanding fielding by the South Australians. So it is all happening. Certainly hope you're enjoying the coverage. Of course, you can view it all at the Cricket Australia indoor Facebook page. Maybe at the change of innings, myself, Gary Lowe, and the man sitting next to me, Brock Winkler, might have an opportunity to go through some of your comments if we have a chance. But the game very evenly poised. 59 runs. Going to need a very big partnership from these two out here at the moment.
Remembering that Queensland kept South Australia to 53 in their round game. Sorry, 59 in their round game. So if we're going on that form, Queensland are on track to have enough to defend. But again, big courts and pressure of a minor semi does funny things to players. That is edged into the back net. First ball from Schiller. Lockwood getting away with that and getting through for a single. Schiller bowling a good length. Missed outside off stump there by Kyla Hansen. Batting last. She averages 14 with the bat this week through 5 innings. Striking at 114, more than a run a ball, which is excellent. Nitschke picks that one off the net at cover and just misses the stumps. Penrith. Gabby Lockwood, Gary, how's she going this week?
Yeah, averaging 12.5 from her 6 games.
So we're looking at another 25 pair, and that should stand Queensland in good stead. Probably short of what's par at 100, but certainly enough to defend if they bowl well. Isabella Nitschke is just terrific down. That's a direct hit from cover again. Getting the ball in her hand, getting her feet in the right position to throw the ball. Great skills on show here in the under-14 girls division. She'll get another chance here. 2 more added to the score as Queensland turned down an opportunity to run again, which is probably a smart idea in that case.
Yes, very prudent, very wise. Sometimes the lure of that second run's just too overwhelming, isn't it? You want to go for it. Another chance here. Direct hit.
Given Isabella Nitschke, the captain, again with another direct hit. Finding Kyla Hansen short of a ground. We'll get the replay here. Thanks to playcricket.com.au. Gets her feet in line with the stumps, flicks it straight in the middle. Definitely out. Excellent decision by umpire Smith.
Tell me more about what you just said with her feet in line with the stumps. I have commentated previously with a lady named Cindy Cross, inductee in the 2019 Indoor Cricket Hall of Fame. Why is that important? Tell me about why the feet placement of the field is so salient.
So the thought is that it takes out a variable that could go wrong when throwing the ball. So if you've got your feet in the right position and you have it in a straight line to the stumps, you can then bring your arm through in a straight line and it takes out the left and right variable. You just have to get the up and down variable, I guess, right to hit the stumps. So fundamentals on display there, and very good fundamentals of that from Isabella Nitschke, and just putting her team in front, I would say, at this point.
And folks listening to the broadcast, that's why we have absolute legends of the game like Brock Winkler come in and provide their thoughts and insights.
Steady up there, not quite.
I know. Well,
I don't think that's appropriate compared. I'm very privileged to have been mentioned in the same breath as Cindy Cross as well, Hall of Famer. Cindy is an absolute legend of the game, and it was great to hear her speak at the presentation dinner on Saturday night.
And I always find that the great players and the great contributors to indoor cricket are usually the most humble ones, and Cindy Cross, she was absolutely blown away to be able to receive that accolade. Of course, Ross Collins was the other inductee into the 2019 Indoor Cricket Hall of Fame. Ross, very, very strong in building the foundation of indoor cricket back when it was the ACIF, or AICF, sorry.
What an impact he had in the game. That's a great shot.
And back in the day, probably sporting the greatest moustache of all time. So congratulations to those two. And we always try to get the best insights that we can for the broadcast here. And I just thought it was really telling, your description of that fielding compared to what Cindy Cross had talked about. And I haven't had the chance to commentate with Cindy for a couple of years now, but any chance I get, I try to get her in here because she's brilliant.
Well, the current Australian under-21 women's coach.
Yeah. So
I'm sure that she would have some great insights into the game, and she could definitely teach me a thing or two about coaching, because I've had a really tough time this week.
How have you found it? And what team are you looking after?
I'm looking after the ACT under-15 boys.
Right.
Unfortunately, we finished 5th this week. I love being able to be involved in helping grow the game and giving back. I found it very challenging this week with certain aspects. It's been very stressful in certain parts, because obviously I can't directly affect the game. But I have an incredibly talented team, and I really haven't had to do too much coaching. They've come from an outdoor background, most of them. A core group of them actually, as we said, that one bounced twice off the pitch. Played in a grand final last year, a year earlier. So that was their second year in 15s. But unfortunately didn't go our way this week. But I love it. I'll be back next year for sure. And I know there's other Opens players such as me, especially in the Victorian setup. So Justin Perkins is on one of the courts behind us, coaching the Victoria under-15 boys, and we've also got Laura Shaw, Addie Campion, Ellie Donald also involved in Victorian underage sides. So it's great to see that level of player giving back to the sport. See a great shot there onto the 2-net there from Gabby Lockwood. Unfortunately, Isabella Nishi couldn't keep that one off that time. Final ball of the 15th over. This pair's gotten to 18. 77 is the score. So Van Wyk bowling her leg spinners, carved away for 2. Takes it to 21 for 13 off her too. She bowled well without reward, I felt. Final over, Gary. What do you think they need here?
I was just thinking that as that while you're having that discussion with our audience, I was thinking, where do these correction girls need to be at the end of this over? I think if they could steal seven or more from this over, I think that'd be a nice little win for Queensland here.
Captain Isabella Nishi bowling. So now have a profound impact on this game already in the field. See if she can do it with the ball as they get 1 off the first one. Yeah, I think you're right, Gary. 7 takes them to 86 this over. 90 would be an imposing total.
Oh, yeah, it'd be great if they could get more. But yeah, I think just that seven runs would be quite handy. They can defend that. You can defend the mid-80s. They're going to have to roll up their sleeves and do a bit of hard yakka, but... Oh, and that one's cut sharply.
I'm glad that's avoided the point fielder.
Yeah.
It's almost come straight back to the keeper with the tight nets here on the show court 1 at Casey Stadium. 3 balls remaining, 83 the score. Pulled away for 2 runs. Sensible batting here, really. They haven't taken a lot of risks. When they have got out, it's usually been through a good piece of bowling or fielding from South Australia, which is good to see.
Ball called good.
Just sneaking in there. Final ball. They need 1 off here to...
Yeah, get the 1. Make us feel better about ourselves in the commentary box here.
Well, they might get more than 1. It's onto the 3 net. Gregory stopping a side back 4. Giving up 3. And that'll take the skin to 29 and the total, which of course in this knockout games is what matters, 88. So obviously, Gary, in these knockout games, skins, while nice, irrelevant.
Yes. Yes. Skins may give you that kind of momentum or that little win as you're going through, but in the big scheme of things, 1 big skin and 3 poor ones and you win it. That's the important part of the equation. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. 88, is it enough? I reckon they're probably a sniff under where they wanted to be. Is it defendable? Absolutely, it's defendable. There's just going to need to be a real purple patch here for the Queensland fielders where they really just put the throat on the South Australians and take a few wickets. So they're going to need a skin that's going to be in the teens somewhere along there.
Agree. Well, that third skin for Queensland was only 13. We saw them take wickets at regular intervals, and it showed on the scoreboard and has really affected the momentum of Queensland. And also that first pair, which we sort of expected to get towards the 30 mark at least, with Olivia Winter batting and being leading run scorer, only got to 21. So I think SA, again, if you had given them this chase before the game, I think they would have taken on the challenge.
And as we look at some of our friends at the Cricket Australia Indoor Facebook page, I love people with joint Facebook accounts. Wayne and Shari Palmblad, great coverage. Thanks very much, Wayne and Shari, for tuning in. It's a pleasure to have your company. Jeff Olsen, great watching live. Glad you enjoyed the coverage there, Jeff. And the Queenslanders supporting each other as well. Queensland Cricket Indoor, good total, girls. Runs on the board. Brock Winkler?
It is runs on the board, and it's a knockout game, so scoreboard pressure has a funny effect on some players. We'll definitely see whether it has an effect on this game. As you see, Olivia Bennett come to the back of the net to open the bowling for Queensland. Isabella Nitschke on strike, and she plays that one into the corner for a single. She'll be batting with Keely Stone, and they'll be looking to get this pair off to a really, really good start. Get them on the front foot.
Yeah, the run averages for this South Australian girls outfit, it's pretty daunting if you're a Queenslander. You're looking at Gregory with an average of 17.13. Rosenzweig 19.86, which is ridiculously good. Nitschke 18.86. Tanika Lucas not playing in this game. She averages 18.5. That's about as good as an indoor cricket shot you'll ever see.
That is what we would call a wire. Gary, that has hit the top wire and has probably left a bit of a mark on the ball. She has crushed that. It's played into the 2-net flutter. Opportunity for a direct hit there at off sweeper by Kyla Hansen, but not taken. I think, Gary, we're going to have to see some fuller bowling to Nitschke to get her to play those sort of shots and create a bit of confusion. Thank you, Olivia Bennett, for giving me some stuff to talk to. That's nice. Because I think if you bowl shorter to Isabella, she's shown that she's just going to whack them into the springs. Yeah, great.
She's done that twice, so obviously listening into your thoughts are the Queenslanders here at the moment. And yeah, it's crazy to think that these are under 14 girls. Like, you look at someone like Isabella Nitschke, and she is a serious player. Like, we're looking at a future open women's player there, no doubt about it. You know, you look at the quality of players in the open women's side for South Australia at the moment, who didn't make the finals this year in the Opens division. And that shows you the depth and the talent of that competition. Like, you're talking about players like Elizabeth Hall, Nisha Isles,
Kylie Rattray.
Kylie Rattray, absolutely. Jess O'Reilly, yep, Stacey Oates. So, yeah, we've just rattled off 6 of some absolutely brilliant female players. And that side didn't make it to the final. And that shows how much talent's on offer. And I look at someone like the captain, Isabella Nitschke, and she's got open women's player written all over her. I'm sure that we'll see her in future years. 100%. Absolutely confident.
She advances down the wicket and plays into the 3-net. That's if we had our listeners listening to the previous game, the under-13 boys, I spoke about intent batting on these bigger courts. They do reach the extremities of the WICF regulations for width. There is a lot of court to cover for a fielding team. So if you play with intent, not necessarily deliberately trying to hit the back net, but playing through the line of the ball and up towards the back of the court, you do get a lot of value for shots, and Isabella is showing that in spades here. That's well bowled by Sophie Stennett into the hip area, limiting the area of the court that Nitschke can hit to. Comes off a knee for a run. So obviously you can't get the bonus runs off the nets, Gary, in indoor cricket if it doesn't come off the bat.
Yes, that's right. You can't be out there kicking the ball around. You've got to get some willow on it. Hit that Burley Seacombe indoor cricket ball as it almost takes the poor old bonce off Keely Stone there.
It's a yellow ball, Gary. I think that reminds me of a podcast.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. I think you might run it. The host of the Yellow Ball podcast sitting next to me.
Brock Wickley, you're very kind. Yes, the Yellow Ball podcast, which will have a very comprehensive wrap-up of the junior tournament that's taking place here with exclusive interviews pre- and post-game. And we certainly thank all the athletes for taking the time to provide that content, provide some insight.
Excellent insight from yourself last week on the Opens tournament, Gary. If you haven't had a listen to it, jump on and have a listen right now, because not just the open men's, the open ladies, the under 21 men's and women's, and the Lord Taverners division. Interviews with some massive names of the game, including Jude Coleman.
Yeah, Jude Coleman was very kind with their time.
Australian captain Lyle Teskey's on there, as well as all the captains who made it through to a grand final. As Nitschke plays that one around the corner for a single. So start of the third over here, 16 on the board now, 1 ball into it. Jasmine Lewis bowling. It's called leg side by umpire Smith. Very delicately poised at this point. I don't think Queensland need a wicket just yet, but they do need to limit the impact that these two have. As I've almost put the commentator's curse on.
You absolutely have.
Keely Stone there, she plays that one up into the roof, but gets away with it with 2.
And you're quite right in your comments. This game is very, very evenly poised. Maybe South Australia with their noses in front, just slightly perhaps. But we talk about momentum in indoor cricket quite often, and it can turn on the dime with the slightest mistake, and it's always looking for that kind of little weak area in your armour, and it makes you pay. It
really does. It's something that those of you who are watching via the Facebook live stream can go back and watch previous games, including the Open Men's preliminary final and grand final, where you'll see very large momentum swings, and which do change the course of a game. Victoria, a very good team at doing that, but I'm sure these two teams here, when they, or if they are able to get on a roll, will be able to show us as well. 11 from that over from Jasmine Lewis. These two batting brilliantly. 26 now the skin.
Yeah, they've just kind of skipped ahead on 26, haven't they? They've kind of quietly achieved that.
The South Australian crowd over there in the grandstand here at Casey Stadium are looking very pleased with what they're seeing so far from these two. Kyla Hansen to bowl the 4th over. That's pretty sharp for this division. She's gotten that through very well. Got a great action. Puts a dot on Keely Stone. Oh, Olivia Bennett in the front court.
Yeah, nice bit of fielding and very good action indeed here by Kyla Hansen. Gets that right arm bowler. She gets her left arm up really high and pulls it down by her side quite quickly, that left arm, to get that pendulum swinging through. She sees that down. Very good bowling action. We'll see what that hits. I couldn't see. Was that 1 run, was it?
1 run. Absolutely terrific fielding from Gabby Lockwood at the back, diving across to save 5, and that could be a big moment in this game. Tremendous at the back net here. Oh, and that beats the outside edge. That looked like an off-cutter. A bit of a variation in pace. Full of length, drawing Keely Stone forward, and she plays and misses. 2 balls left. Got a chance for the off sweeper, but put away by Keely Stone for 2, and she gets home. Final ball. Kyla Hansen. Let's see what Nitschke can do. She really drove through that fuller length last ball. Let's see where she bowls this. And she does again. Great shot. Down and up. Over leg sweeper for 3. And that is an absolutely tremendous batting performance from Isabella Nitschke and Keely Stone. 34 for the pair. And that gets SA off to a really great start and gives them some serious momentum going into the next pair.
Yeah, it does. And that's exactly what the doctor would have ordered. South Australia getting off to a 34-run start, chasing 89 for the victory. And what that now does, it takes a certain degree of pressure off the remaining 6 batters that are coming in. They can come in now and understand that if they can score anywhere between 15 to 20, it's going to be enough to get them home. When your first batting pair goes out there and doesn't do as strong as this, then there's a little bit more work to be done. Very reminiscent of the Open Men's final with Queensland versus Victoria. Queensland chasing a very similar score. Ryan Dowse, Rob Fitzgerald come out and hit on 36 runs, I think it was, in South Australia doing 34 on this occasion. So
that was a clinic, that batting display from those two gentlemen as well.
It was, and just as it was here today with this South Australian side. So well done to that first batting partnership, and if the second batting partnership can do something similar, well, it could be curtains here for Queensland.
We've got Chloe Rosenweig and Emerson Filsel, sorry, my apologies, in at the second pair. We've got Sophie Lilly bowling the 5th over. Umpire Smith calls that wide. Sophie Lilly with 7 wickets for the tournament, and that's second for the Queenslanders on most wickets. It's driven back down the wicket by Rosenzweig. Going for 12.83 per game. She'll hope to be inside that today. Just off the pitch. Left arm seam up, in swing to the right-handed batters here. Getting a bit of movement when she pitches at full. Just got to get her line right.
Yeah, Zeldine Barnard at the back of the court here. Queensland player coming in and providing some words of advice. Just needs to get her radar on target because, yeah, there is a fair bit that the ball's doing through the air, but just needs to get that line and length right. I'm sure she'll get it right this time. She's had a couple where it's been off, and it is much better.
Unlucky there. Inside edge. Onto the 2 net. Lewis unable to get across and cut it off for the bonus runs. Filsel punches that one back to Sophie Stennett at the back of the court. 8 from it. Another good start to this pair. I always speak to my juniors about the 4 overs and what they need to do. So building the first over, consolidating the middle 2 pairs, and then momentum for the next pair in the 4th. So they've built themselves a good platform this first over. Emerson Filsel this week, 7 games, averaging 12 a game, and that'll be very handy in this situation here. And as Gary touched on earlier, Chloe Rosenzweig is the leader in terms of runs scored and average per game. 19.86 a game at 161 strike rate. That is tremendous.
That is tremendous. I'd hazard a guess as that would be one of the best, not only in this team, but across the division.
The competition, yeah. She punches that one back to cover. 3rd ball opportunity here for Queensland. Full toss. Hit with authority at the back of the court, but Lockwood cleaning up there and keeping it to just 1. Talia Hess bowling the 6th over. Right arm in swing.
So Rosenweig's average of 19.86 is equal 2nd best in the competition. Olivia Winter from Queensland is the only one better on 20.67. And, I lie. There's another one. Cynthia Coughlin, 21 from New South Wales Metro. So big averages.
There is.
Big averages.
High scoring comp, and that speaks a lot to the courts here at Casey Stadium, I think, Gary. As I said, big courts and playing with intent mean big scores. Talia Hess comes in again. That was really well played by Rosenzweig. Getting her foot across to the ball, playing straight, punching it into the ground and into the 2 net. I'll keep saying it, Gary. I'm just impressed by the talent on display and the skill level of the under 14 girls.
Yeah, very pleasing to see as well that some of the participants in the open side of the Indoor Cricket National Championships watching on social media. Katrina Teskey, Tali Meany, Chloe Frick. The list goes on. Chloe Frick, of course, the captain of the 21 and under South Australian winning side. So very strong support. You'd know better than I, Brock Winkler, that when you do travel away to a national championships, your state or your territory really is quite a big family. You know, you'll watch the other divisions play and vice versa. And we watch this shot career into the back net for 5 runs.
Terrific stroke on the back foot, onto it quickly, playing it hard and flat to the back net for 5. Yes, Gary, it's obviously only having played one tournament in the ACT. It's really great to see, especially from an Opens perspective, with the juniors arriving on a Friday. If you make finals, which we happen to do this year, with the Blue Army out the back, and it almost felt like a home game against WA in our minor semi-final.
Yeah.
You just look back and there's a sea of blue. They're all clapping with us, as we tend to do. It just makes the atmosphere, and it really helps you play at another level. As Rosenzweig goes aerial, over off sweeper for 3. A couple of risks being taken here, but they're coming off. Queensland just need to stay patient. They are creating enough chances, I think. It's just waiting for one to come to hand.
Oh, good first touch in the front court. Unfortunate not to go to hands there.
There's another one. I think that's Olivia Bennett down there in the front court. My apologies, Olivia Winter.
Yep. The two Olivias, both in the front court there. Olivia Winter, the number 11, and Olivia Bennett, the number 1. Making things tricky.
And we've got 2 Sophies as well. Sophie Stennett bowling and Sophie Lilly, of course. Rosenzweig with a mix-up. Chance at the keeper's end. Not taken. I'd argue that there was probably 3 or 4 chances that over, Gary.
Yeah, and look, that's the thing. Like, South Australia are playing somewhat expansive cricket, which is allowing opportunities for wickets to come in as we watch Queensland in the middle of their huddle having a discussion. So if Queensland can stay patient, the opportunities will come, which they have come. The next real tricky part is to actually take them.
Take a wicket. It is getting to the point where they almost do need 160 now through the conclusion of 7 overs. They really need to start putting the pressure on. Olivia Winter bowling the 8th over. Another chance. Another one not taken.
And look, sometimes when you're in the field and there's no chances coming, it can be a bit disheartening. But here there are ample chances here. And if Queensland do go on to lose this game, I think they'll rue quite a number of opportunities that they haven't taken full advantage of. Because we could quite easily be looking at South Australia down to 40-odd runs at the moment. Easy, because there's been about 4 or 5 missed chances here by Queensland. So
it really gets to the point where, you know, in the field you start to think, is it ever gonna happen?
Here's another chance. Oh dear, and yeah, if that one's gloved, it goes down to the wicket-keeper's end. So morale is starting to become an issue here for Queensland.
Comes off Lockwood onto the 3 net as well. So 3 runs. I think they will start to think maybe it just isn't our day, but they can't afford that at this point. Well, that's well bowled. Length outside off stump. Rosenzweig trying to play through the line there and just missing it. 2 balls left here for Olivia Winter in the second pair. Taking it away outside the outside edge again as Rosenzweig, and the final ball of the second pair will be 3rd ball. Score must change, whether that be via a run, a sundry or a wicket. Big moment of the game again. In the air and taken. Massive wicket for Queensland. Bennett in the front court. Safe hands. Rosenzweig out last ball. Gary Lowe.
Yes, well, 2 things come to my thought process there. And the first one is speaking to your comments earlier on about that momentum. You know, the 4 overs and how there's various stages that you have set for your players in your under-15s. And one of them was that last batting pair, or that last batting over, going in with momentum for the next partnership coming in. They've lost the wicket there, so that's one thing that is relatively noteworthy. The second one is third ball conversion. Good to see them build the pressure with the 2 dots and then convert it. Quite often you'll see teams do the 2 dot balls and then there's a bit of a pressure release with the third, but 3 of them on the money taking the wicket, and they desperately needed that one to stay in contact here, Queensland. So
they did.
Very, very good last delivery indeed.
Brings them back to 60, so 29 required for South Australia. From the final 8 overs to see them progress through to the preliminary final later on this afternoon here at Casey Stadium. Queensland will be up and about as we have Gabby Lockwood bowling the 9th over. Fast off-spin delivery, punched back to off-sweeper for no run. Gabby taken 4 wickets this game, this tournament, so looking for a couple more here.
4 wickets this game would be handy if she could manage that one.
Most certainly.
And look at Queensland now all of a sudden. Sorry to interrupt and stop on you.
I agree.
They are up and about. 1 wicket, tails are up. Third ball, be great to get another third ball conversion. This is good for Queensland. They're beginning to lift.
There was a chance there, off hands, went to Olivia Bennett in the front court. Down to, I think, Talia Hess there in the corner, and Crawford lucky to scrape through with a run here. Lockwood's bowled 3 really good balls. You're trying to feed Olivia Winter there in the front court. Oh, confusion again. A couple of yes-nos. Just beats Winter there. Through to Lewis, and they get 2. This is a really good over, Gary. Bowling into the legs.
It is good, and when you start to get that pressure on top of the batters, those yes-no kind of calls start to come into it. There's a bit of hesitation from the batters, so it's really important. You don't want to give any more freebies. So leg sides, wides, no balls, get them right out. Gabby Lockwood, good over here thus far.
Oh, beats the bat, final ball of the over. They'll still be up here. They know, again, as we've said, chances are there. Be patient. So Caitlin Sekafine, who'll be on strike the first ball of the 10th over here. He's only averaged 5.67 this tournament. So Queensland, I know, will be looking to be on top here and possibly take 1 or 2 wickets here. Emma Crawford, 10.57. So this is a pair that Queensland will really look to be on top of. Sophie Lilly to bowl the 10th over. She lands that one inside the line. It's called fair by umpire.
That's a really big play, big decision as well, because now that does bring on a third ball opportunity. Can they convert it?
Oh, straight through. Knocks her over. Sophie Lilly doing the job for Queensland. Great delivery. I was saying that she gets a lot of movement. Seam up delivery. Swinging back into the right-hander and straight through the gate.
Yeah, we're seeing a very handy little fight back here from the Queenslanders. They were starting to skip ahead South Australia, but Queensland digging in.
It's unfortunate to follow a wicket with the leg side. It's a bit of a let-off there for South Australia. It's off the leg. Gregory calls Sekafine through for a run. There's a chance there again, an off sweeper for a catch. Just past the fingertips, off the receiver's leg, onto the 3 net. Great shot from Crawford.
Which is a very awkward little customer, isn't Sophie Lilly? That ball, as that punches through to the back court.
It's another great shot from
Another
second.
3. That ball kind of goes up above the eye line and then dips. It's very difficult to try and catch, exactly where it's going to be landing, and then quite an opportunity for the players to scoop it up. As you see the replay, that's a really good demonstration of what we're talking about. Brock Winkler made mention that there's a bit of movement through the air with that bowl, with her bowling, sorry.
You've really got to make sure that you, as a batter, you make one solid movement all at once. You don't sort of plant that front foot and then play around it. At that slower pace and the movement that Lily gets, I'm sure that's why she's taken 8 wickets, I believe, this week. As we see Talia Hess come on. Right arm in swing. As that one sneaks inside the leg side line for a dot. Sekafine and Crawford just need to get through this little period of Queensland with their tails up. That is pulled away. 2 runs given by umpire Smith. Didn't quite reach the halfway line. Another chance for Queensland. Just past the outside edge. I think if Hess can get a couple on the stumps here, she'll be in the game, and if they get bat on it, Winter has been electric in the front court today.
Oh, and that one almost going to hands, just short. Third ball opportunity again.
Queensland looking to really get on top here. Thrown up, dot ball. Oh, I thought there was almost some hesitation there from Sekafine. Went and stopped.
I did have my eyes on her as she was running. I think there was a bit of a stutter and I don't know if it was enough possibly to give it out third ball.
She may not have stopped fully. She may just have slowed down as Talia Hess beats the bat again.
She was walking a very fine line though, but
indeed.
I think it was all good. And
so this partnership on 12. So in the grand scheme of the skin, which again, knockout game, not relevant, but will be a big momentum boost if they were to get this skin and leave, say, 15 for the last pair to chase, because you never know what can happen in a knockout game with runs to chase, as we've seen all the way through, not just this week, Gary, but also the Open tournament. Yeah,
very true. And to the folks at home, I can see that you've brought it to our attention that, if that was outdoor cricket, that would have been plumb as a duck. That the 12 runs that have been added on for this batting partnership have been added onto the second batting partnership, which reads 38. I'm sure we'll get that fixed up for you. So here in the Indoor Sports Centre, first skin's 34, the second skin is 26, and the third batting partnership is on 12. So the total's correct, it's just those skins are a little off. Try and get that fixed up for you.
Again, it is a finals game, so the last.
It's only the total that matters.
Last column on your screen is the important one. See Kyla Hansen. Fortunately, just bowled that one off a pitch called no ball by umpire Smith, and Caitlin Sekafine asks for that one to be bowled again, as she is rightly allowed to do so in the final over of a pair. That's a better line from Kyla Hansen. Couple of dots and a wicket here, I think, Gary, is what Queensland really need. Obviously, a couple of wickets would be great, but you can't be too greedy at this point in the game. Just falls short of off sweeper. Forcefully played through the offside by Sekafine, and Lewis just unable to get a grasp on it. 2 balls remain this pair. Fallen down the leg side.
Yeah, that's something they're going to want to try and restrict, is those extras. If they're going to give 2 runs to the batting partnership, they may as well make them play. They may as well make them earn it at this stage of the game, or at any stage of the game. You don't want that happening.
That's been called no ball over
out.
the waist, and it was caught at off sweeper, so it'll be not out. Came off the net, Gary, so it'll be an extra 2 runs, so 4 off the ball. It's a pretty good catch down low there from Lewis.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You can see the background, the crowd in the grandstand went up as 1, but no ball too high, the call.
Blocked out by Sekafine. I think they're happy with what they've done right now. Total 84 with 1 ball remaining in the 12th over. Push down the leg side, 2 more, and a re-bowled again. So South Australia have a chance here to tie or even take the lead going into the final skin. Sekafine happy to take the dot, and fist pump, big fist pump to her partner Emma Crawford. They are stoked with that. 26 for the partnership, and South Australia 3 runs away from progressing to the preliminary final later on this afternoon.
Yeah, all the heavy lifting's been done for South Australia now, this last batting partnership. There's not too much that they need to do.
Not at all. Obviously, Alana Gregory come out with Megan Schiller. Final pair for South Australia.
And you'd think it highly unlikely that this batting partnership can't score 3 runs.
I agree. Alana Gregory, 137 runs for the week at 17.13 per game, which is terrific. She's also leading South Australia in contribution average at 11 runs contributed per game. Contribution being your batting score minus what you concede off your bowling, giving you a figure which statistically gives you your contribution towards the team per game. Obviously that can be in minuses if your bowling is more than your batting, but Alana has shown that she is more than capable of contributing for this team. She takes a wide first ball from Olivia Winter. Good outswing bowling, beats the outside edge. Just pushing forward there, Gregory, and well taken by the keeper. Schiller averaging 9.57 from her 7 games. A little bit less, obviously, than Alana, but still more than enough in this current scenario. As Gregory plays that hard into the 2 net for 2. Striking, Schiller striking at 74, so less than a runner ball. Means that Queensland will be looking to build a few dots on her to build a bit of pressure. As that's called fair inside the wide line there by umpire Smith. Of course, with that with that wide, and the 2 from Gregory, South Australia have taken the lead. So Queensland will need wickets and will need them fast.
Yeah, they're going to have to pull a few rabbits out of a few hats here, the Queenslanders. Very, very comfortable position for South Australia as they look towards playing again later this afternoon. Planting the front foot and just letting that ball go.
Smart batting from here gets South Australia home, I think, Gary, and playing each ball on its merit. If that was thought to be a good ball, then it's well respected there, and let it go through for a dot. No need for any risk.
No, that's right. And, you know, I think that as we begin to look at what's gone right and what's gone wrong for the 2 teams out on court today, I think that Queensland, they really had an opportunity to win this game today. But it's just those opportunities that they let go by. I mean, they're still in it. They can still win it, but it's just awfully difficult for them to do so. They have had ample opportunities to take dismissals here today. And unfortunately, just missing the playcricket.com.au stumps by a whisker, or that Burley Seacombe ball just not quite making it to the hands.
Yeah, I agree. I think Queensland look back and Think of what could have been, obviously, but no matter what happens in today's game, it's still a great week from both teams to make it into the final, because not everyone does.
No.
Any year you make it to a final is a good year. Called wide by umpire Smith. I've got a couple of comments on the live stream asking about the other under-14 girls match between Victoria Blue and New South Wales Metro, and it is on the court behind me. New South Wales Metro batted first and posted 76. Victoria Blue are 66 through 12 overs, so 4 overs for them to get 11 runs as we see a wicket for Queensland. Caught by off sweeper. You never know in indoor cricket, Gary. You just never know.
No, that is true. We have quite often seen teams stumble at the final hurdle. Can't declare an indoor cricket. You've got to play it out. Oh, there's another chance, Brock Winkler. That's what we've been talking about.
Just short. Olivia Bennett and Kyla Hansen there at off guard. Just unable to get their hands on it. So close. Oh. Beats the bat again. I think the pressure's understandable and visible from these two batters. Queensland just need to keep hanging around. If they keep it close, they might take a chance or two that they're creating.
Yeah, well, Queensland, they need at least 3 wickets, really.
I would agree.
That would be their target. Oh, if they can take more, that'd be beautiful.
At least 3, yeah, I agree.
At least 3. If they're going to go on to win this game, Queensland, they're going to have to take 3 wickets in 12 deliveries.
Gabby Lockwood with her off spinners coming to bowl the 15th. Full delivery. Played sensibly to leg sweeper, sorry.
And dot balls help.
They do. Third ball situation. Lockwood having a chat to Zeldine Barnett at the back net here. Flatter, quicker. Takes out. Middle and leg. Schiller is bowled, and that is massive for the Queenslanders.
Well, there's one, Brock Winkler. There's one. 1 of 3.
I've got chills, Gary.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah, something might happen here. Great bowling from Lockwood. Fuller on the stumps. Not a bad idea at this point in the game to play a game of you miss, I hit as a bowler.
Well, Queensland, are we seeing a comeback for the ages? All of a sudden, some doubt creeping into South Australia. Never write off a Queenslander.
And they're up as they should be, the Queenslanders. Very active in the front court, lots of noise. Plenty of support in the crowd as well. Oh, past the outside edge again, well bowled. Full of length. Schiller pushing at it and just missing it. Another third ball opportunity, Gary. Is this the moment where they take the initiative back? Forwards with Zeldine Barnard. Lockwood comes in. Flutter. Play back down the pitch. The flick not in time. Well navigated by Schiller. Final ball of the penultimate over. South Australia 3 runs ahead.
What an outstanding over from Lockwood.
Just under the most immense pressure, comes up with the absolute goods. Gabby Lockwood finishes with 1 for 1 from 2 overs.
Yeah, brilliant over. Exactly right. Under all sorts of pressure. Coming out with a performance like that. And now this is it, the final over.
Olivia Bennett to bowl. Might I add, Gary, just before the last over, that Olivia Bennett was player of the match in the previous round game between these two teams. She took 2 for neg 1, so she's shown that she is capable. See what she can produce. Past the outside edge, and that'll bring up another third ball opportunity.
Gee, there's been a few.
Like, sorry.
The crowd's starting to lift here.
It is.
The intensity's coming as the Queensland boys to our right come in. Here we go.
Whack. Side to back, 4 runs.
Well, that might very well be the game.
Megan Schiller, decisive shot, positive, through the offside, finding the corner.
Big play on third ball. Big play.
Off the knee. 2 wickets now required, Gary. Alana Gregory, I wouldn't be surprised to see her take a dot.
Yeah, I think they'll send in the night watchman here, mate.
And then Queensland required 2 wickets from 2 balls, but let's see what happens here.
2 dot balls and they can win the game. They don't care about that. Oh, no chance. Oh, Queensland. So close. And now if there has ever been a time to block out the ball, this is it.
Alana Gregory has put the hand up. No run. She's about 1 metre behind the crease, behind leg sweeper. And that is the game, Gary Lowe.
Yeah, South Australia. Well, with a slight scare, they're going to get through. Queensland, gee, didn't they come home? So strong, but won't get there in the end.
Off Schiller's leg, final ball, and that is the victory. South Australia celebrate. They've won the minor semi, 96 to 88. And they'll go on to play the winner of the major semi-final, which at this point is very tight. I can't tell you who it is, but they'll go on to play the loser of that match later on this afternoon for a spot in the grand final. Gary Lowe, your thoughts?
Yeah, look, South Australia, congratulations on their win. And as we look at the Queensland side, there's a few players are a bit emotional, and you can expect that after a long week, but they should certainly be very proud of their efforts. Have done a great job for their state. In terms of the South Australia run chase, look, we said that there needed to be a batting partnership that needed to be in its teens. Queensland were actually able to keep South Australia down to 10 in the end, but it was just that real confident start of 34 at the first batting partnership. We talked about it. It was very similar to the Queensland run chase against Victoria in the Open men's game. Yeah. So congratulations to South Australia. Uncertain on who they'll be playing this afternoon, but you can catch all the action here at the Indoor Cricket Australia Facebook page.
Yep, that's it. That's all from us. Thank you all for watching. Please stay tuned for more action. Next coming up is the minor semi-final between the ACT and Queensland in the under-17 boys division. I've been Brock Winkler. Gary Lowe, thank you very much.
You still are Brock Winkler.
I am. There you go. And we'll talk to you soon. Thank you all very much.